it's nice to see both routes, but sometimes it's nice to see the good old-fashioned old route with both of them doing that at the same time.
I agree. I think it's good when both runners do the same route, because then you can actually see how close they are.
It definitely makes it easier to tell. And here they go, very much up here in Sierra Station, the start of almost every Super Metroid category. Got to face Ridley the first time.
We're seeing some magnificent wall jumps.
It's a good place to practice those wall jumps for a second. Both damaging themselves down pretty quickly. Oh, and shout outs to Punk, Charles playing with the Japanese text.
He also has Moonwalk on. Did you see if O'Dear is using Moonwalk?
I did not. And I do not recall if he used it the other day, so we'll see. And O'Dear with a 44, mid 44, and Charles with a mid 43, both very good series times.
What is that? Is that a bird?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forget what he called the. He told us what kind of bird it was, but yes, it is a bird of some sort.
Startled me.
Yeah, it got me last time too. Just kind of stares at you, doesn't it?
It does. Do you think it's related to Ridley?
Oh, I guess it could be. Looks like O'Dear just using the normal fall speed. Charles doing a nice moonfall to get down.
That makes sense. I think a lot of the older runners still haven't converted over to using Moonwalk.
Yeah, I think that's right. Trying to relearn some of the boss fights with Moonwalk can be very difficult.
Yep. That muscle memory is super hard to break.
It is. Whereas the newer runners haven't learned that muscle memory. Or were just, in my case, just really bad at it in the first place. And so it didn't matter. But I'm much better at it now. No, Soldiers, Moonfall is not cheating. I know you don't like it. Mockfall is not cheating either. Both are allowed in this game.
What type of climb do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're both going to do the wall jump?
It seems to be a little bit more common. I don't recall which O'Dear did the other day. Charles I've not seen before, so it seems to be about 50-50 a lot. It'll be interesting to see. Entering the climb at about the same time.
Oh, we're seeing two different kinds.
Awesome. Like to see that.
Look at this parlor by Charles.
Very nice. That is a tough room to do optimally. and he'll be the first to enter his BP fight. Has full energy, so hopefully it gets the right missile drops and doesn't get no drops. Oh, getting some energy drops. You don't want to get hit there because then you get those energy drops. You still get enough missile drops to be okay.
Both finishing at roughly the same time. Charles leaving with full ammo and full health, while Oh Dear is missing one missile.
Yeah, he'll hopefully be able to pick that up pretty easily on the way down.
He just got hit though, which is going to make getting a missile drop a little less likely.
Harder. Also having a little bit of trouble with Alcatraz, but gets it.
Who doesn't struggle with that?
I know I do. You see Charles damage boosting himself right through the space pirates, a definite indication that he will go old route. Not a surprise here. Most newer runners start with old route, which I think is very smart. Usually wait till you get below at least a 50 PB before most runners will start going into new route, if they choose to do so at all.
Charles, what are you doing?
Falling a little bit too far there. He's okay. He's okay.
It almost looked intentional. Like I thought he was going to meme and go do Spore Spawn.
Well, we saw a little bit of that this morning. I don't know if you caught the...
What? Who was it?
Oh, let me look it up. I'm trying to remember right now. It was... Shumo versus Armed Gunner had some sort of gentleman's agreement to go to most, but not all, the mini bosses, since they did not do GT, but they did all the others.
Okay.
So we saw Spore Spawn for the first time this tournament, and we saw Crocomire for the first... No, wait, sorry. We saw Crocomire for the second time this tournament. Almost forgot about Toasty Muffins and his bizarre KRDP route.
Really? Someone did the KRDP?
Well, if you know Toasty, you can't be surprised. And Charles a little bit ahead coming out of Big Pink.
There's a flawless Green Hills by Charles.
Very nice. Definitely one of the prettiest room names we've ever come up with, or has been ever come up with.
Do you think it's referencing Sonic?
You know, that could be. I hadn't even thought of that. It's been so long since I've played a Sonic game. Charles chooses not to get saved. Phaser beam. Not a surprise. Most old route runners don't do that. Same with Oh Dear. Charles.
Oh wow. Both of them are doing the same entrance into Kraid. I feel like that's one you don't really see very often, where they line up the jump from up above instead of going down below.
Yeah. In just a second, Charles will be the first to get into his crate fight. We'll see if he can get the quick kill here. Oh dear, right behind him.
Nice quick kill.
Nicely done. Took the extra time to get it right.
And another nice quick kill.
If this race stays this close, we're going to have a fun time on our hands. We'll see if either one of them chooses to pick up the Crady tank as an extra safety.
I am anticipating Charles will. I don't know much about Oh Dear, but I've been following Charles since about the time he started running.
Nice.
Okay, both runners are getting it. That's good.
Yeah, I think this is a good extra safety. Extra E-tank for the Phantoon fight, extra E-tank when you get to Ridley.
Mm-hmm. And it only costs about 20 seconds, which isn't that bad if you're making sure you're not going to die.
Because dying costs a lot more. And now they're about to head get their high jump boots. Oh dear, missing the gamer there. That will cost him a little bit of time, as it takes a little bit of time for it to come back around the next time. Charles managing to get it just fine, so he can open the door before he goes through, so that door will be open for him when he comes out.
So, do you call those Novas or Sovas?
I thought the Novas are the ones that fly around.
Mm-mm.
Oh dear, getting his E-tank on the way out. Still needs to kill that thing before he can open the door. And oh, he did kill it, so he's good to go. Oh dear, using some nice pseudo screw techniques in order to not worry as much about damage going through there. Charles first to get to Bubble Mountain. And does a very nice job of getting around King Cat. In fact, both runners do.
Yeah, nice job.
I find if you do that quick enough, it's a little bit easier. When you take a little bit of time, then the timing gets all off, and that's when you have trouble.
Interesting. Charles is picking up those missiles.
An extra safety, and that one's not too far out of the way.
Yeah. Is he going to go with... I wonder if he's going to go with 30 and 10. Or if he's going to skip the moat missiles.
We'll see. Oh, or the wave missiles. But both of those are more in the way.
Yeah.
So maybe he gets all of them. A little bit of extra ammo is not a bad thing, though. A little
No, it
less to
isn't.
worry about.
So we've
Makes
seen
it a
a.
little.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we've seen people. You get to Mother Brain 1, you don't have enough ammo,
Yep,
and that
I
can
was
be a
just going to
problem.
mention the terrible RNG that some of the runners have had from Metroid drops.
Yeah, twice yesterday, I believe we saw people have to re-enter Metroid Room 4 just to get enough supers to do Mother Brain 1. So. Having those extra missiles can avoid that. And they're half an item fanfare apart, so pretty nice picking up that wave beam. So both runners are going to book it right out of Norfair and head up to the wrecked ship. But you're having a little bit more trouble getting out. Nicely falls into that hole. And Charles, first out of Norfair.
Charles's health isn't as good as O'Dear's. Do you think he's going to skip the Alpha Spark, or do you think he's still going to go for it? Looks like he's going for it.
Looks like he's going for it. I suppose he can always take Sloters' refill. Shout out to Sloters, who's probably still in chat here. But the time you save from the spark would not make up for the time you lose from stopping and refilling. So we'll see.
So it looks like he did the Owl Spark, which is half of the Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh dear, doing the full Alpha Spark.
See how Charles does on this last bit of red tower. Very nicely done with the hero shot.
Yeah,
and
that was
Charles
really
right
good.
behind him. So far, you can't get much closer than these guys are. Charles farming a little bit of extra.
Getting really nice health drops.
Yeah. Oh dear, getting the nice damage boost out of the Alpha Power Bomb spot.
We see O'Dear picking up an extra power bomb. I think that means he's going to be doing X Factor strats.
Refill at all refills, missile and energy. I don't think we already have all map stations RTA. I don't know about that one. But if you submit a run,
looks like O'Dear just barely missed Ocean Fly. He was doing the harder method of using a regular missile instead of a super.
It looks like O'Dear will be the first one to run into Fantoon. Fantoon has in store for the runners today. I actually saw a triple fast this morning, so
Really?
pretty rare. Yeah. Yeah, we had some very interesting race this morning, I must say.
What are the odds of that? I'm sure someone in chat knows.
They were debating that in the chat this morning, so I'm not sure what the correct answer is for that.
Oh.
Oh, missed on
dear.
the
No, then he hits a fast.
It always happens when those X-Factor particles are still flying around, because the problem is, when those X-Factor particles are flying around, you can't shoot anything. Toon being his usual troll self to both runners here. There we go.
Oh dear, finishing first.
Ooh, Charles got some energy issues. Come on, you got
He's
this.
Be really careful.
Oh, pick that up.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I don't
does he
think
not know? He doesn't know you can pseudo screw through those. Oh no, Charles.
He didn't save.
Oh. Oh, and unfortunately, Charles is forfeited from the race.
No.
Oh, that's a shame. So Oh dear just has to finish then. He does have to finish.
I wonder if Oh dear is looking at chat so he knows.
Oh, looks like Charles is considering re-entering. He hasn't started yet.
If Charles starts again, there's still a chance that he could win. This Dragon can be really mean. He can die from chain damage really easily.
In fairness, yes, Oh dear would have to make a mistake at this point for Charles to be able to come back. But things happen. Like you said, chain damage happens, Ridley happens, Mother Brain happens, Ketchup happens. There are lots of still dangerous parts to go. Oh dear, finishing his little break, getting gravity suit. And Charles has restarted.
Good for him. So, Oh dear, coming out of the wreck ship with really good ammo. Personally, I'd want a bit more health before entering Meridia, so we'll see if he feels the same.
Yeah, I agree. Those Meridia enemies can hit you very hard.
And Botwoon, I think, has a chance to double hit you.
I believe you're correct.
I've died to it many times.
Oh dear, falling into the vial plume. I hate those things. That was always one of my least favorite rooms. Just falling into those things well, sucks.
There's a reason why it's called the Hellway.
Yeah. Very appropriate name for that room.
And I think we just saw CWJ by Oh Dear.
Nice. And he's in Meridia. Meanwhile, Charles going down with his moonfall again.
Calculated health.
Meme health. Don't love this energy. This wouldn't, with your opponent so far behind, this would have been a good place for him to take a save, especially with that energy count. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Ammo count's good though. Like you're gonna start with the X Factor. Which he gets nicely.
That was a really nice fight.
Nice, very nicely done. Nicely dodging the little beam. He'll pick up the energy tank here and he'll be fine. I'm going for the halfie. And the goop spark at the top. And yes, to update those of you just getting in here, Charles took an unfortunate death to Phantoon. He managed to enrage him, which is never a good thing. When you fire those supers, Phantoon goes into that enraged state. And the best way to die, with the inventory that you have in this category, you can use a charge beam to do a pseudo screw to get through that. And I'm not sure that Charles knew that. Meanwhile, Oh Dear going into his Dragon fight.
Good opening.
Oh, another goop spark. Looks like he's going to try and finish this off with ammo. little bit early. Oh, no, going back to the Shine Spark. And he even gets the blue suit. Nicely done.
I think that fight was one of Charles's few chances of catching up.
Oh dear, picking up his space jump boots. And getting the reverse halfie. Now he'll go get his plasma beam. I would have picked that. I'm kind of surprised he let that energy drop go. A little bit low.
Yeah.
Should be okay.
He might not be that worried. He could be going the lower route to Lower Norfair, which would give him the Nutella refill.
Yeah, that's possible, especially since he has to pick up Ice Beam. In the meantime, to update you on how these guys have done so far. So they're both in Group Itakun. And both are 0-2. Let's see. So Charles lost to Cashmod and to... Where is it? And to Ivan. That's no Ivan being a very good runner. No
Yep.
Yeah, that's not one you're likely to get. O'Dear's lost to brother Kyle 88, but he got a PB in that. Here it is. His PB there was 53.33, so that's his PB.
Oh wow!
Very nice. And he has also lost to Cashmod. So one of these guys is going to get their first win today, so that's going to be pretty cool. As O'Dear heads back into Norfair, he'll pick up his Ice Beam now. And we'll see which route he takes down to Lower Norfair.
His health is looking a lot better than what it was.
Indeed.
And Charles is entering Crate again.
See if he can get another quick kill.
I hope he does, because it was pretty beautiful the first time.
Yes, it was. Oh, and doesn't get it. Oh, one of those. I hate that hand. That hand will snipe your missiles all day. But Kraid is done.
How do you think Kraid got into that room?
That's a really good question. Maybe with a crane of some sort. Or maybe he burrows, I don't know, from the other side of the planet.
Do you think he was put there as a baby? And then he just grew up and filled up the room?
Oh, maybe. I mean, he's a lot smaller in the original Metroid. About the size of Mini Kraid, in fact. Oh dear, in the meantime, about to go into Lower Norfair. Using the pseudo screw so those flames don't get him.
That's some good tech.
I've seen a lot of pseudo screw from Oh dear, very nicely done with those. Oh dear, looks like he's going for fast pillars.
Oh.
And he doesn't quite get it. Looks like he's going to try again.
This is really interesting. I mean, I guess he knows he has the time to get this.
Yeah. And try again.
This is a really hard strat. I've never once gotten this in a run.
I have not either. Come on, you can do this. And he gets it. Nicely done. And yeah, that's the whole reason to do that is because certainly he would have gotten through faster if he had just power bombed through. However, you only have 5 power bombs, and if you use them up, you might have to pick up the power bombs as shame a little bit later, which nobody wants to do. You need 1 to open these blocks. And you need at least 2 more to get all the way down. And oh dear, remembering to jump through the door there. Saving a little bit of time rather than falling all the way down. See if Oh dear chooses to take a safety save here. And he does. I think that's smart here. He knows he's ahead. A lot of dangerous things coming up.
Charles didn't get beat by King Kak. He's 2 for 2 now.
Oh boy. Oh.
Jeez.
Is he frozen on your stream too?
Yep.
Oh, wait, here we go. We're back. Somehow we got all the way down to the Space Pirates room. And now he's okay. Those drops in the Space Pirates are very nice. We'll see if he wants to pick up any extra stupers. Maybe farm up a little bit of energy before heading into Ridley. We'll see.
Chat's saying nice splice.
Yeah. Well, that moment of freezing, oh my god. 21 energy, and then boom. Oh, he's going right into Ridley. 20 charge ice wave plasma beams will do it here. He's more than halfway through. After the 11th, after you're just the shot after halfway, he'll turn to that pink color. About 2 or 3 more shots. Nope, not quite. Ridley's such a weird boss. I don't know any other boss in video games that works like him.
Have you seen the code for him?
I have not.
Oh, okay. I'll have to send it to you. You're gonna look at it and your eyes are just gonna gloss over.
Which what I was saying, once you damage Ridley down, he can still kill you. He has to pick you up before he's going to explode or run out of his swoop counter, in which case he'll just spontaneously combust, which is always kind of fun. Oh, you're picking up the Ridley E-Tank. I like that move. That extra energy, extra safety. He knows he's got the time for it. Yeah, I don't know any other bosses that stay alive after they're technically dead and can still kill you in any video games. If you know of any, chat, please enlighten us.
Yeah, you got me thinking about it now. Oh, bot wound can.
Can he?
Yeah, after he's dead, his body parts still have hitboxes on them.
Ah, yeah, I've never had that happen before, so I didn't know that. But he does die, whereas Ridley still keeps moving until you get picked up or that swoop counter goes down. So it's a little bit different, but yeah. Thank you for that, chat. Dragon with its turrets. Well, technically that'd be the turrets killing you, not Dragon.
Alright, let's see if Charles is going to take the save before Phantoon this time.
Chat coming up with all sorts of different answers. Pulling a Ninja Gaiden 2 Armadillo.
I feel like in some Final Fantasy game, there's a boss that has an attack after you get its health to 0.
Yeah, I could see that in a Final Fantasy game.
But I can't for the life of me remember which one.
And no, I don't know what happens if you fall after killing Ganon in A Link to the Past. Oh, there you go. Figure somebody in chat would know the answer to that. A lot of people that play both these games. Apparently Ganon does respawn.
I've never played A Link to the Past.
So we'll see if Oh Dear chooses to stop at the ship. His super count's a little bit low. And the Metroids have not been kind to drop RNG lately.
Yeah. He has those bugs at the end of Meridia. Those have a pretty high drop chance for supers. 40%.
Yeah, that would be one place. Interesting the way the game works. It really does try to give you the right drops in the right places. If you need to basically those bugs giving you that many supers are saying, hey, there's a green gate coming up. You need at least one super.
All right, everyone give Charles your energy.
Phantoon round 2. Firing that super early, that's a very easy thing to do. I know I have a hard time keeping my count on those shots. Phantoon takes 24 total missile shots. So ideally, you want to damage it down for 25 total missile shots. You want to damage him down so that super will finish him off so he doesn't go into the enraged phase. And Oh Dear says, I'm just going to go for it. See if he gets some decent drop RNG from the Metroid here. Very nice speedball through the blocks there. Oh Dear following Slaughter's playbook and typing into chat as he's playing. But he has time for that while G4, during the G4 cutscene. Yeah, stealing your text loaders. You're not the only one that can type in chat.
Charles.
I'll play.
Okay, Charles using the pseudo.
Oh, this time using the pseudo skirt. Excellent. Oh, thought it was over when it wasn't. Still in a very dangerous spot.
Just a few more missiles though, and Phantoon's dead. No!
Oh no, not again. Now, and Charles is forfeited from the race again. I think this time it's going to be permanent. Meanwhile, Oh Dear doing some grouping strats to get the Metroids all in one place. A little bit dangerous though. Come on, yeah, because they for each extra Metroid that gets on you, the damage amount goes up. So
how much damage do they do? Do you know?
I don't know. I just know my life force goes very quickly when they get on you. And as someone that plays a lot of randomizers, I don't always have an ice beam to kill them with, so.
Oh Dear, choosing to reset the room. I don't blame him. Having 6 supers at this point.
He needs more supers.
And health.
Seven supers. Oh, I'm surprised he used the super there. He may have to reset the next room a few times. Oh, and he gets up to 10. Nicely done. And nice. He's at 2010. He'll be fine now. See if he goes for baby skip. and doesn't get it. See if Oh Dear takes this last save. At this point, he just needs to finish, so I think it's a good idea. Looks like he is. I think that's smart. There's still a lot that can go wrong here. And he gets his up skip. Nicely done.
First try. Whew.
Oh, exactly the right amount there. Calculated. And this will also take 20 shots.
I kind of wish they would have done more with this fight.
Yeah,
It
well, I
seems
remember I tend to agree. Although playing it the first time, I remember just spamming with missiles, not understanding the numbers. But
Yeah.
I kind of anticipated after this point. I'm like, there's no way that this just kills you, you know. So the whole point of the baby coming in and saving you, I have to admit, I did actually kind of expect that. Oh, sorry if anybody's new here. I just spoiled it.
Well, that's okay. This game has been out for 24 years.
Yeah. And I played it at the beginning. And while we're waiting through the cutscene, let's see what else is coming up tonight. At 7 o'clock on Speed Gaming, we have Stump versus Heiser QL. At 8 o'clock Eastern, we have Brother Kyle versus Charlezard. So Charles will have a chance to redeem himself. And then tomorrow we have a whole bunch of races starting at 6 p.m. We have a 6 p.m. race between Sloters 27 and Mumu Didi. 8 o'clock we have a four-way. EOD Tex versus Leodox and Volrat versus Metroid Mist. And at 9 o'clock, we have Kip versus Cross Product. I'm especially excited for that Kip versus Cross Product match, as that will likely determine who from that group, and that is a bit of a stacked group, is going to go on. And Mother Brain 3 is down. All that is left is the escape.
you ever play Other M?
I have not. I've seen it played. Yes. To update those of you that are just joining in, Charles went and died to a Fantoon, and then gamely restarted, and then died to Fantoon again. Fantoon is just like that. Everyone I know has one death or another to Fantoon.
Yeah, everyone who runs the game has died to Fantoon.
If they say they haven't, they're lying. Right, I seem to remember a GDQ race where 3 out of 4 died there. So, and those are the best of the best. So. Will Oh Dear save the animals or let them die?
I'm hoping that he saves them.
That'd be nice. I mean, he's got time. He's not going to get a PB this time. Nope. But he goes right on by them and says, "Nope." And Oh Dear has officially done with an official SRL time of 56:55. GG to Oh Dear. We're just checking and seeing if anyone wants to pop in here and say a few words. So let me go through the tournament schedule again while we wait on that. Again, tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, we have Stump versus Heiser QL. At 8 o'clock, we have Brother Kyle 88 versus Charlezard again. So he'll get another shot at this. Tomorrow, we have several races starting at 6 o'clock Eastern Time with Sloters 27 versus Mumu Didi. At 8 o'clock, we have a 4-way race, EOD Tex versus Leodox and Volrat versus Metroid Mist. At 9 o'clock, we have Kip versus Cross Product. And then at 10 o'clock, we have Hero 82 versus PGA Mexican. And like I said, I am especially looking forward for that Kip versus Cross Product race. I'm actually commentating that one, looking forward to seeing how those guys do.
Is Kip running new route in the tournament? Or is he doing old?
He is running new route in the tournament. Although in his first match, which I commentated, he actually went Kraid and then Ridley instead of Ridley and then Kraid. We'll have to see if he'll do that tomorrow, especially against a runner of the caliber of Cross Product. So it's going to be interesting. I am definitely looking forward to that match.
I think Charles wants in here.
Yep. No. Yeah, it looks like he does. I thought, oh, maybe it's because I don't know how to do that.
I don't think we can invite people into here. I think they need to be given voice permissions.
Oh, hey.
There he is.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. Yeah. I mean, I was in here. I just wasn't sure if when would be a good time. I don't want to jump in on the air, but
Oh.
No,
yeah.
it's perfect timing.
Okay.
How you
Cool.
doing?
Well, I think y'all probably saw some of my messages in there. I mean, of course, I am disappointed with dying to Fantoon, especially twice. But at the same time, I definitely understand that I'm pretty new, or at least decently new. I think new enough that dying to Fantoon isn't too major of a thing, but it is definitely not how I wanted both of those runs to go.
A lot of runners, a lot more experience than you have died to Fantoon, so you're in good company.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I've definitely watched Zosti before and Oates and stuff, and yeah, I've definitely seen them die to him as well. But yeah, I don't know. That's just one of the many things I have to practice. Maybe I should have farmed a little bit more. The first time I died to Fantoon, I definitely just thought he was dead and just wasn't even looking at my screen, and then I died. So that was pretty dumb. And then I guess a similarly close thing happened the second time where I thought he was dead, but then that time I realized, okay, no, I have to start doing that spin jump thing to like dodge the fire, and then I was trying to super missile him, and I just jumped into another fire, and then yeah, it was over for me. But
so the first time you did know about the pseudo screw strat, then we were
oh
wondering
yeah,
about that.
I did, yeah, and then I just like I just wasn't even looking at my screen. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see you have another race coming up tonight. What do you think about that one?
Well, so today I came back from a vacation, so I actually have a little bit of unpacking to do, but maybe instead of unpacking, maybe I should do some Fantoon practice instead.
Certainly can't hurt.
Yeah, I definitely have some things to work on with that. My friend Emmett, who started the game around the same time as me, is definitely better at Fantoon than me, so I probably should talk a couple of things about Fantoon with him. And also, Becky, I appreciate your support too. I saw you had told me you'd help me with some strats, and yeah, I just got to put some time into it. I just got to practice Fantoon, and if any of you were actually here for my last race, I actually died from chain damage to Dragon, which I wasn't really.
No.
Yeah, I had
Well, that
150 health and just got one-shotted, and I was astounded. I just didn't think it would ever do that much damage. But
yeah, chain damage is definitely a thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was assuming that my problem this run would be Dragon, but whatever. I guess it was Fantoon.
Welcome to Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
okay,
it was fun. Well, GG's to Deer. Yeah. And yeah, GG's to Deer. I'm not too familiar with his pace. I don't know if he was like too behind or whatever, but yeah.
You were on the Fantoon fight at the same time.
Yeah.
So you were pretty close at that point.
Yeah. Well, next time, oh dear, we'll have to have an exhibition match someday.
Sounds like fun. Anything else you'd like to say?
That's about it. If you still have hope in me, please watch my next race later today against Brother Kyle. We'll see what's up with that, and maybe I'll make it through Fantoon. But, I'm not here to spoil things, so I'm not going to tell y'all what's going to happen. Y'all are going to just have to be there.
Thank you.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And shout outs to Brother Kyle, who I just found out last night is a fellow Iowan, so.
But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for commentating. I know it was kind of last minute there, too.
No, I'm happy to hop in when I can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and with that, I guess we are done. Again, tune in for those later matches. Plenty more Super Metroid to go this week. Thank you to Charles for stopping by. Thank you to both runners, Charles and O'Dear, for running. Thank you to chat. Thank you to Speed Gaming for running this. Be sure to follow the runners. Let's see if the bot's working today. Oh, and the bot is working today. So be sure to follow those runners. Both, maybe they may be new, but up and coming, and so always fun to watch. And anything else you got, Becky?
Nope.
Okay, then I'm signing off with good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.